Hey guys, and welcome back to HOA Outdoors. This is something a little new we're going to start this year into the winter in the off season starting. You should be seeing this beginning of February and running to May. Once a week we're going to come out with a gear review about products that we use. We're not paid by any of these companies. We're not sponsored by any of these companies. These are products that I choose to use. I choose to spend my own money on, and we want to give you honest reviews about what you should expect, what you can expect, and what our experiences were with these products. The first product we're going to talk about today is the camera that I use to film our hunts in. So when I was starting to go down this process in 2021, I wanted to look at products and cameras that were pretty easy to use, but I could also have the ability to take great video and pictures, because I do like to take pictures. We'll show some of the pictures I've taken the last couple of years with this camera. That is why I didn't go with a typical camcorder. I went with a mirrorless camera. I went with a Canon 80D, and it has been great for what I've wanted it to do. For what I've used it now for 2 filming seasons, and there's a lot of really good things about it, and a lot of really good, and some stuff that might not be as easy for some people. This camera does not come with the lens, as obviously I bought this camera just as without the microphone for around $1,100. I got it brand new. I got it, and so yes, you're talking a high price point on a camera like this. But is that worth it is probably going to be your question. And for what you're trying to get in, what you pay for is a little bit what you want to get. If you want some blurry video and you want to just get videos out and use a GoPro or a little camcorder, a $100 one on Amazon, that's what you're going to get. If you want to go down the route of having a camera that you can take really high quality pictures and really high quality videos with, this is a great learning option. I've had no photography background. I didn't grow up taking pictures. Never picked up a camera until I bought this camera, and I actually saw it. Randy Newberg, they recommended it, and it was a couple years old, so it wasn't the brand new model that Canon had, but it comes with every feature. Now the lenses that I use 2 different lenses. The lens on this camera right now is an 18-55. All the Canons have the Here, I'll show you. All the Canons have the image stabilization. I hope you can see that. That is really key, especially when you're up in a tree, especially when you're filming, just to be able to, maybe it's not steady, maybe it's not perfectly parallel to the ground, but just that image stabilization to really focus in on what you're looking at, it does a great job. Now again, I used the 18-55 2 hunting seasons ago, and for archery season, it did its job pretty good. It's not perfect. It's much better for in cars, little quick interviews here and there. That's where this lens shines. When this year I upgraded to a 55-250 millimeter Canon lens. Same kind of lens. It's an EFS lens, and a little bit bigger, can still do everything. I can still take some interviews in the tree, do that, but it also lets me reach out a little bit and get a little bit more. For bow hunting, especially bow hunting, I think this is all the lens you need. Deer inside of 100 yards, this is going to get great video quality. It's going to do exactly what you want. I can't say enough good things about this lens for bow hunting. If you're out west and you're rifle hunting, or you want to take really zoomed in crazy pictures, probably doesn't have the zoom magnification that you're looking for. But as far as bow hunting, taking cool videos of deer within 20 yards, doe chasing or buck chasing doe, everything you're going to see in the whitetail woods during bow season, this camera does a great job, especially in the eastern states where you're in timber, where you can't see 400 yards, where you're seeing 150 yards, 200 yards in the woods. This camera is going to do a great job at picking up that for you. The one thing I do not like about it when it comes to the video side is the screen. I think it's a little small. Now again, you can get an upgrade for it. I might look for that next year. I know there's multiple times in the viewfinder I was having a hard time finding deer, especially in the heat of the moment. When I had that big 8-point, 160+ inch 8-point up at school, when he was inside of 40 yards, I could not find him on the viewfinder. Now he wasn't thick stuff, and the camera sits lower than what you see. When you're filming hunts, if you don't know this, the camera's about hip level. So you're going here, so you can also shoot. So the camera's at hip level, so it's a different angle than what you're seeing with your eyes. So it takes a little bit. That being said, it is clear on the viewfinder. It's just a small, tiny little screen. There's my hand compared to the screen. So it's very hard to really get when there's a lot of brush and thick stuff and you're trying to see where I'm going to shoot. It can be a little difficult to pick them up in the viewfinder in that situation. But other than that, I don't have much to say bad about. The camera itself works great. The battery life, I will tell you this. When it's cold, when it's snowing, when it's even just out there, if you want to sit a full day, you probably need 6 batteries for this camera. That's just my honest opinion. If you're doing a morning and afternoon, you can probably get away with 3. 3 for a morning hunt, 3 for the afternoon hunt, charge them a little bit in the middle, and you can get away and have a great sit with just 3. If you're filming all day, if you're in the rut, if you're in that pinch point, if you're down in that bottom, up on a bedding bench, and you're there all day, I would say make the investment of the batteries. We'll put a link below in the description of the ones that I bought off of Amazon, which are not as expensive as the Canon ones, but I think do it just as good of a job, if not better, holding battery life than the ones that Canon provides you that come with the camera, and they have an easy charging system. So we'll drop that link in the description for those batteries. What I started to do mid-season was going from autofocus to starting to film in manual focus. I just thought it would always be easier doing autofocus. I didn't know much about camera. I didn't want to mess with it. I just thought, hey, autofocus would be great. And I will say this about autofocus. This is a great camera. It focuses on a lot of stuff, but a ton of times it does not focus on what you're looking at, because the camera is going to focus on the first thing or what makes sense to the camera to focus on and not what you're looking. So when that deer steps behind a tree and brush, it's focusing on the brush or the trees and not the deer. So I switched literally mid-season, probably mid-October. I switched from manual focus to autofocus. And when I went to autofocus, I thought I got much better video quality and content for you guys. I will say this, though, about the autofocus, and this goes back to the small lens that this camera has. When you're in autofocus, you can't always tell. You think you see the deer is focused on here, but it doesn't always look that way. As far as once you get it on your computer and start editing. So just take that extra second when you're in autofocus to really make sure that deer, especially the antlers, are really focused in the camera. It's just going to give you a better picture when you go to edit. But like I said, this is not for everybody. As far as being in a tree, this is not the easiest camera to film with. A nice camcorder, you could probably get it for less than what I paid for this. You could get a nice camcorder from a bunch of different companies that would probably be easier for just filming. But like I said, I like taking pictures. I like the sleekness of this camera. I can put it in a bag and take it on an airplane anywhere and not have to worry about it. I love what this camera lets me doing. For self-filming, is it the easiest thing? No. So if you're just looking to start self-filming and you're like, I just want to dabble with this, I don't want to spend too much money, I don't know if this is quite the camera for you. This is an investment. This is a camera that you're going to be able to do a lot of things with, and I hope do a lot of things with this for a long time. I will say one more disclaimer here in this video. With this lens and with these cameras, you have to make sure you know what lens your camera takes in Canon, whether it's a mirrorless or mirrored camera. I have the EOS 80D. It's an EF camera, so it takes EFS lenses. I can't tell you what that means. It does not take RF, though. I'm not a camera. I don't know much about cameras. I know that I bought this camera. I love this camera. This is a great camera. I did buy an RF lens, and it did not fit this camera. Had to send it back and go down that route. I will say this. If you're looking at buying a Canon camera, like I said, I don't know a bunch about it. The lenses for the EFs, as you get higher up, are much more expensive than the RFs. So last year I bought an RF lens $1 to $400 for around $400. It did not fit this camera. The $1 to $400 lens for this camera is almost $800, if not more. That's $800 refurbished. So a new lens like that is going to be $1,000. So just know what you're getting in for when you buy a camera like this. It's much more investment, but it allows you to do so much. And especially for me, I didn't want to just take videos. I wanted to take pictures. I wanted to do some stuff with photography, just some cool stuff. And I got some great pictures. We have shown the video, and we'll show a couple at the end of this video. But I will just say, for me, for what I thought, now the second year running this, especially this year with the bigger lens, I love the quality video that this camera allows you to shoot. It allows you to get really good video, especially if you're manually focusing. I think if I had a cameraman, this would be the only, I wouldn't think of anything else because of what this camera allows you to do. But that being said, I do solo hunt. I do self-film. So this camera, for my dad, who is 58 years old, I would not give this camera to. Let him use a regular camcorder. One button allows him to zoom using the control pad. You have to manually zoom this. You have to manually focus this. Everything that this camera does is great, but it's just that one extra thing in the tree that you're going to have to deal with. So, final thoughts. All in all, great camera. I love what this camera has allowed me to do, and I love what we're doing and where we're going with this channel. And we're just going to keep cranking these videos out. But like I said, Canon 80D for self-filming, for beginners, might be a little difficult. But as far as once you learn it, once you use it, I love it. I love the high quality video it gives you, and it's done a great job for me, and it will be in many episodes here to come. So as you can tell, the quality of this video, this was filmed on a GoPro because I don't have a backup camera right now, and we were talking about this camera, these lenses. So the next videos you'll see will be all recorded on this, and almost every video you've seen, every hunting video, a majority, all the deer filming has been done on this. I've done some interviews on the GoPro, and GoPros are great for quick interviews, but all the deer footage that you saw in Season 23 was taken on this 80D camera. So, that being said, thanks for watching. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.